Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at the work of Bobby Garza from Diamondback Country Knives. Here in my hands, this is the Moccasin, a beautiful belt knife, sort of your classic camp knife, a beautiful overall size, incredible fit and finish, attention to detail, second to none. I met Bobby at Blade Show 2024. I happened to be at the booth of Exodus Knife and Tool. Looked to my side and I was like, hey, I remember seeing you at the pit last night. I didn't know we were talking. Looked a little closer and I was like, oh wow, you are Diamondback Country Knives, and this is how this came to be. And so in today's video, a first look and impression of this Moccasin. Now, as we run through this here, we'll go through some of the specifications, get a close-up look. In future videos, I have been asked to put this to the test, give it some good quality use out in the field, give Bobby the feedback and some practical experience with the knife. So if there are any improvements to be made, he certainly can. And I think what I'm more likely going to do is give him some praise for designing and building here just a beautiful functional art piece. This knife is absolutely sweet. So I'm going to start this entire video by saying, if you like what you see here, do me a favor, take a look at the Facebook group for Bobby Garza. You will see that he does have a Facebook group. It is an active group. He has a couple of different sides of it, sort of more of like a open-facing Facebook group and then more of a closed group. So I would encourage you to try to join both of them. It should give you better details on some of his upcoming projects and things to watch out for. And then you can also find his work on Instagram. So lots of fantastic eye candy on there and a lot more detail than I will be able to go into. But in essence here, the Moccasin. Now, this knife here having an overall length of 9 5/8 inches. So again, it's going to be just that perfect belt knife, perfect camp knife, very straightforward design for the most part, but it should be a good overall utility blade for your camp needs. Food prep, general cutting of cordage, basic fire prep. Now, this is, and I will go into further detail, not going to be your hard use blade, but it should be able to take a good amount of hard use. So again, a 9 5/8 inch overall length with a full 5-inch cutting edge. As you take a look at that edge, beautifully done, incredibly well crafted, nice and even from the tip all the way to the guard. Just an absolutely gorgeous and razor sharp job on that edge. We have about a 4 1/4 inch handle with roughly 3.75 inches through the grip. So I have a large size hand. You can see that indexes very well. It's extremely well contoured and sculpted. No hot spots. And in talking to Bobby, he's been working on softening all the edges and will continue to do so through time. You can see very nicely rounded, highly polished, very smooth and comfortable in the hands for long-term use. This has a roughly 4mm thick stock of CPM 3V. You can see it's a very high, and I don't even know if you could call this saber grind. It's pretty much a full flat grind. So this gets extremely slicey by the time you get down to that edge, which is a V grind, and from what I can tell, roughly around 22 degrees. So that's getting to the thicker and I would say more stout angle of a slicey blade. So should be in that nice durable range, yet slicey at the same time. You'll notice that the flats have an acid wash finish with a really unique little sort of hammered look to it, which is pretty cool. The grind itself, the primary grind, is a machine, I believe, finished. So I would call that a machine finished satin, and just beautifully done. Drop point design, pretty classic in overall shape. You'll notice a nice large belly, and this will probably strike the balance for some hunters in their ability to do basic skinning tasks. Now, when you look at the handle at the widest point, it's roughly 7/8 of an inch thick. So gives you a great purchase, fills out the hand wonderfully, but it's not overly thick at the same time. So this should work well for people with large hands, medium hands, and even smaller hands at the same time. Now, this is a very interesting material. This is called an ivory snake Juma. I don't know a lot about it, but what I can tell you is this takes a wicked polish, and Bobby absolutely taking the time to make sure that this is very highly polished to an extreme degree and just has that almost 3D look about it. It's extremely impressive, and there's absolutely no way the camera will do it justice. You just have to see this with your own eyes. Subtle details that I love, the introduction of the thumb scallops. I love my camp knives to have the ability to get on alternate grips, reasonably sharpened spine and squared off enough that you could definitely do some scraping, ripping on the ferro rod. So having that thumb scallop is absolutely instrumental in your ability to comfortably and accurately do that. Just the softening all around, the star pins, which are awesome, very nicely done, perfectly placed, a great look, and then that polished stainless tube. You can see a nice generous lanyard tube, stainless construction, just beautiful. Now, I don't know if this is truly an added liner or if it's just part of these Juma scales, but it's almost like these have a white liner on top of all of this. So it's a real clean look. It's a classy look. The liners do not take away from the overall clean aesthetic, and this whole entire thing just screams snake. Diamondback Country Knives, absolutely fantastic work. Introducing that nice, deep lasered logo, very nicely placed, and just an awesome logo at that. Looking really, really nice. I love the sort of US flag in the back. I love the fact that it's not overly brandished. I love the fact that it's just tastefully done. Some additional details to add. This does come with a nice case. You can see embroidered on the front. Very simple, soft on the inside. This will create the protection you need for your heirloom quality piece. And that's absolutely what you're getting here. So a nice high quality package all the way around. Certainly you can zip the knife inside. So if you so choose, gives you the ability for simple storage, the ability to transport. I do need to get some details on sheath options, but what I can tell you is in conversations with Bobby, he does suggest if you get yourself a leather sheath, making sure that you have one without dye on the inside so it doesn't impact your scales. That makes perfect sense. This also coming with 3 stickers, so a very nice little addition to the kit. And then on top of that, your Diamondback Country certificate of authenticity. Very nice. So again, the Moccasin CPM 3V Ivory Snake Juma, got it at Blade Show. He signed it, and I believe this is supposed to be June 7th, 2024. This does say July, and obviously it's before July. Not a big deal. I know that Bobby had a huge amount of work going into the show, so minor details, but at the same time, very nice that he's paying attention to the details, creating a comprehensive package so that you get high value for your purchase. But I can tell you, the knife alone would have been good enough. This knife is absolutely beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it in detail, and the next time you see this, I will be putting this to good use. I have to give Bobby some feedback. I have to give this knife some good quality, hard use patina, and I am extremely excited to do so. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.